Let's talk about tight lacing for beginners or waist training for beginners. What is tight lacing? Tight lacing is the practice of wearing a corset to achieve cosmetic modifications to your waist. My biggest piece of advice is research. You need to look up reputable companies. What is tight lacing? What does tight lacing do to the body? The history of the corset in general. You should know.
So far, I agree with what corset training is and what tight lacing is and everything. I just personally didn't really do any research on what the history of corsets were and how the history of corsets came about before I started doing my waist training. You can if you want to, but that's not something that I think that you have to do.
All these little things when you start out, it's important. And if you get asked questions, then you can give people a real answer, which is why I personally like to do a bunch of research. So first things first, you need to know your torso measurements and your waist measurements. Not small, medium, large. You need to know if you're a 26-inch around, how long your torso is, because you may need a shorter corset or a longer corset. I have a long torso, so I have to get a little bit of a longer corset. Right now,
so I too have a long torso. You measure the length of your corset from your underbust, like where your bra strap is, down to the top of your hip bone. That's the length of your torso. I technically have a longer torso too, but I mainly wear short torso corsets because I find them a lot more comfortable. So even if you have a long torso like her, you don't technically have to wear long torso corsets, but just try it out and see what you like best.
I'm wearing the Mesh CS426 by Orchard Corset in 20 inches. So I like to maintain about 18 to 20 inches. So I am 24 inches without my corset on. And when I'm in it and I'm fully closed on the inside of the corset, I am 20 inches. And when I wear an 18-inch corset and I close it, I am 18 inches. So typically you are going to get a corset that is 4 to 6 inches smaller than your waist. So if you are a 28-inch waist, you could get a 24 or a 22. The reason is because you want to size down, become more malleable, and that is tight lacing, gradually shrinking the size of your waist. I highly recommend Orchard Corset. They have incredible customer service and their sizing chart is amazing, and they want you to have the best corset for you. So they will work with you about what styles, what size, even where you live, what material. I really like the mesh. It works with my aesthetic, so I usually go with the mesh. Just so we're clear, there is not a single corset in any of these 4 photos. This waist trainer is not a corset. This bustier, not a corset. This is a fashion corset, does not have actual steel bonings, and it's overbust. You can't use that for waist training. And this is a stays. So these are very in right now, but these are called stays. They are not corsets.
I know TikTok and fashion, they all have your corset, get this corset XYZ. And she's right, they all have their names, but the waist trainer, I mean, some people do call it a corset because it does have some kind of boning in it, and it does help with waist training. It's technically not a corset, but it does still help with waist training, so I love those. All the other 3, the top left and the 2 bottom ones, but I do wear the top right one for waist training as well.
An authentic steel bone corset for waist training. Once you receive your corset, you need to season it. So you need to wear it for 2 hours every day for 2 weeks so it forms to your body, and then you can start your journey.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what corsets are in a nutshell. And for beginners, tight lacing, a lot of people say that tight lacing is more so going down 8 inches and more. I'm a 29-inch waist. Once I go down to 22, 20, 18-inch, that would be considered tight lacing. But other than that, this is just me waist training. And it's just technical terms. I say tight lacing, waist training, corset training, but there are some people in the corset training community who are very stickler when it comes to what word and verbiage you use. But as a beginner, don't be too concerned with the wording. Just get the correct corset.
This is how snatched my body looks without a corset. All I'm wearing is a simple pair of jeans from $7 from the thrift store. The shirt is also thrifted, very simple, super cute outfit, and I'm not wearing a corset. Yeah. I waist train so that I
just want to make a quick side note. If you have a lot of muscle on your torso, it can be a little harder to train. So you do see a lot of naturally skinny girls coming online and saying, I've been waist training and corset training for X amount of years, X amount of months, and I haven't seen any results, like the results that she has. And it's because they have a lot of muscle on their torso. She's probably been training for quite some time because it seems like she is naturally skinny. But she does have a very beautiful like curvature on her waist, so that's why I'm like assuming all of this. But just like keep that in mind. If you have a lot of muscle on your torso, then it could be a little bit more time for you to see results than a chubbier person.
could be just looking great and super snatched. I also feel like it just makes my outfits look so much better. It looks like I look like Pinterest, y'all. So follow me so you can see my transformation in my journey of how I went from like what to wow, awesome. Also, people ask me about my diet. I do post what I eat in a day, but I do not have a specific diet. But feel free to look at my what I eat in a day videos. I will also post one tomorrow so you can see exactly what I eat, even though you will not probably look like me if you copy me exactly. But of course, you don't have to be snatched to be confident. You can look any way and still be beautiful.
The two pictures that she showed, like the one she went blah to now, she could tell that she was still pretty slim, but that her waist, let me see if I can go back. Okay, so you can tell like her waist isn't as, I guess, snatched, or like she doesn't have like a super hourglass figure before versus now. So as you can see, it has done something to her waist. I don't know how long she's been wearing corsets, but it has definitely, we've seen results. We see her results is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, next video.
If you've been thinking about getting a waist trainer, my honest opinion, babe girl. Babe girl, do it. Yes, I am living for this body. Y'all. So yeah, 27 bucks.
Okay, I think the audio at the $27, she probably got that from Amazon or something, because corsets are not that cheap, unfortunately. She says her corset is $125. Like, her waist is super snatched. It's gorgeous. She has a beautiful like hourglass figure. It gives her a beautiful hourglass figure. If you've never worn a corset before and you put a corset on for the first time, you'll be like, I never want to take this thing off. But like once you wear a corset for like, give it like 3 to 6 months, and you can start to see results if you wear it consistently. Not if you wear it like two times and then you skip a week or two and then you start wearing it again. You have to be very, very consistent in order to see results. Just FYI.
What is going on here? Corseting has been around for centuries, and it's a way to wear progressively tighter corsets to make the waist thinner. But it can displace your inner organs.
Before we continue to listen to what this doctor has to say, please note that these pictures that he shows are photoshopped. I don't know why he's using them. He must be a TikToker doctor. But yeah, take what he has to say with a grain of salt, please, because yes, he's a doctor, but also has he done corset training research the way us corset wearers have? Probably not.
And cause digestive problems and bad gas. But that's not what she had. She just used a filter.
Okay, so yeah, she obviously used a filter to create that extremely exaggerated waist. So when he said right here about displacing your organs and causing digestion and bad gas, okay, I created a video on my channel. I can post it in the description, and pretty much someone was getting an MRI whilst wearing a corset. There's no like significant organ displacement. Yes, your organs move and shift a little bit, just like when you go on a roller coaster. Just like when you get pregnant, your organs shift. They're not meant to stay put like all the time, and he should know that. He's a doctor. Organs aren't meant to stay put your entire life. They shift. Now, when it comes to digestion and being gassy or being bloated or whatever, if you eat the wrong foods, like if you drink soda while wearing a corset, if you eat fried food while wearing a corset, you will feel really bloated and you'll feel like crap. and you'll want to take your corset off right away, 100%. Even if I'm not wearing a corset and I eat and drink that kind of stuff, I will feel like crap, and I'm sure you will too. When it comes to digestive issues, I feel like wearing a corset has helped me become more regular because it's helping to push things down. I tend to have like IBS with constipation, and sometimes if I eat the wrong foods. And I know a lot of girls who have either constipation issues or IBS issues, and the corset kind of like helps things push along a lot more easier. Obviously you have to eat right and drink water, but the compression that the corset gives does the opposite. I do, however, know of some people who have had digestive issues after wearing a corset. I cannot say for sure whether they had digestive issues before or after. All I know is that once they started wearing the corset, they started to complain about digestive issues. So it's like, did your digestive issues just get worse? Or did the corset give you digestive issues? Like, they don't say that. So yeah, just like keep all of that in mind too, please. Wow, that was kind of a that was a sad video. She just wanted a hug, so she started wearing corsets at 14. I feel bad for her, like she just wanted a hug at the age of 14 and she couldn't get a hug. But yeah, with corsets, it does feel like a tight hug. Someone's like wrapping around your waist and like giving you a really big squeeze. The tighter you go on a corset, the tighter it feels. But like if you just wear a corset and you're not like tight lacing or anything, just like put it on like regular, it does just feel like a little hug, like a little embrace. So I feel bad for her. I hope she found a hug or love. I don't know.
Tell us about waist training. Oh, well, I started waist training when I was 19 years old, which is far too young. You should start a little bit later because your bones are still soft. But I went through a phase of waist training and I went too hard too fast, so I made a lot of mistakes early on. But yeah, I waist trained for about 5 years.
I think that if you're the age of 18 and above, it's okay to waist train. Maybe there's some research out there that says that your bones are still soft when you're at the age of 19. I never heard of that before. I started waist training like when I was 22 or 23, something like that. When you start wearing corsets, you're gonna make a ton of mistakes. I'm still making mistakes till this day. So it's okay to make mistakes when you're wearing corsets and when you're like doing anything in life, anything new in life. Like you're bound to make mistakes. So she's cool for making mistakes. We don't judge her.
And I made 3 basic rules around waist training. If you can't run, eat, or it's too tight. That's a rule for life. Sorry, guys.
If you can't run, eat, or have sex in it, then your corset is too tight. If you can't eat in a corset, I choose not to eat in my corset. I just like eating and I want to eat without my corset on and not feel like sometimes I will eat some like protein bars or drink a protein shake when I'm wearing my corset, but majority of the time I don't. Running in your corset, I don't think anybody should run in their corset regardless of how loose it is. And when it comes to a fornication with your corset on, there are some people who like to do that. Personally, I don't. This already feels constricted. Having someone on top of you with your corset on is just way too constricted, and I feel like I'm gonna die, like literally suffocation. So definitely don't do that.
Have you ever corset trained?
Hey babes, so here I am opening up the corset, y'all. I am super excited to get this. If you guys were on my live, you know that I have used a corset before and it just transformed my body. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Now go ahead and look real quick. This was my body after corset training 3 years ago. So that's why I'm hugging it so tightly, y'all, because I remember my body back then.
So first of all, her nails are crazy pretty. Second of all, she's got her corset, I believe it said Alter Ego corseting. I've never had a corset, I believe, from Alter Ego Corset. I know some people who do and love Alter Ego, and I know some people who do not like it at all. But yeah, let's take a look at her corset.
Okay, y'all, so I'm going ahead and opening it up. I'm about to show y'all what it looks like. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. And this is a real corset, guys, designed for your body, still boned. It helps with your posture, your waist, everything. There are the strings in the back. They are super crazy long so that you will have enough room to spread it out as much as you need to. It's opening. So I went ahead and opened the top and bottom. Now I'm trying it on to see how much more I need to let out, if any.
I love that she is opening up her corset all of the way. I like doing that as well, just to see where you're starting, because some people will like just open it up a little bit and put the corset on and be like, I can't, it won't budge. It's like, open it up more, jeez. So props to her for opening it up all the way. Good.
Now I'm putting it on, and it's not hard to put on, y'all. Okay, front and the back. Making sure it's straight, parallel. Always has to be parallel. All right, so you grab those strings on the side and just pull, pull, pull. You're gonna pull both strings at the same time. Make sure you're parallel, make sure it's straight in the back. Meaning the top and the bottom are meeting with the eye. Now I pulled the top string, now I'm pulling the bottom string by itself to make it tighter. And guys, make sure you put on a spaghetti strap shirt or something with this so it's not touching your skin.
Yeah, I always wear if I can find it. Nope. Where is it? This pink thing, it was a crop top and I just cut off the spaghetti straps. So it's just a corset liner. Definitely don't wear your corset underneath, because like right now, like I'm sweating. Like it's hot. This corset is tight. You're gonna get super sweaty, maybe like me, and your corset is gonna get all like funky smelling and sweaty and stuff. So always wear something underneath your corset. But there are some people who don't and just prefer to have the corset lay directly on their skin. I've pinched myself doing that, and like I said, I've gotten my corset to be stinky and sweaty because of doing that. So yeah, put something on.
I don't know what I was thinking. But here it is. It's on, guys. Bring those strings around, tie them up in the front like a bow. And yes, we are on our journey to a crazy waist and a Jessica Rabbit body. Link in bio, AEC course.
Okay, so really fast, she said to tie the strings in a bow in the front. Technically you can do that. I sometimes do that when I go to sleep in my corset, but what will happen is the strings will like over time warp the material of the corset, because you're tying it really tight and you're tying it really tight like this and you're tying it in a bow. So over time the waist of the corset will kind of start to like, I guess, deteriorate. The material will deteriorate. So just be mindful of that. But I mean, you're not wrong for doing that. I used to think that, like in the beginning, I was like, no, you cannot do that. But now I'm just like, who gives a shit? So do it. Like I said, I do it when I go to sleep.
Okay, measuring yourself for a corset 101. So I'm going to try my best to show you how to measure yourself for an off the rack corset. So at minimum, there are 4 measurements you need to know. Your underbust, your natural waist, your upper hip, and your torso length. Some tips for doing that correctly. To really make sure you're getting the correct torso length, I recommend not taking a measurement from the center, but from your under bust, so you really are getting like the highest point the corset should go to your upper hip. And then I also recommend taking this measurement while you're sitting to make sure that you can comfortably sit in the corset.
Yes, do it while you're sitting down, because I have measured my like I said, I make mistakes all the time, right? And I'm just barely learning. When you measure the length of your torso while you're standing up, I've done that before, and then I got a corset, and then when I sat down, it like pushed into my hip flexors and caused my legs to go numb because I was sitting for a very long period of time, like when I was at work and stuff. So, and obviously at home too. But like, yeah, do it while you are seated for sure.
You may be wondering, what do I do with these measurements? Great question. Let's throw some hypothetical ones here to reference. What you want to do now is compare these measurements to what's provided by the seller of the corset and make sure that they match up so that the corset's going to fit you the best way possible. Huge red flag, by the way, if there's only a waist measurement for the corset, or like a waist and a length, like a corset length measurement. That's not enough. A good quality corset maker will definitely provide you with the underbust measurement or the rib spring and the upper hip measurement, which is the hip spring. The measurements of the sides of the corset and the back of the corset will also be provided. I like to take my measurements there as well, just to kind of see exactly where the corset's gonna fall. Once you have the corset's measurements, you can literally just take those measurements and see where they fall on your body, see if that fits. I measure myself multiple times when I am buying a corset because I wanna make sure that shit's gonna fit.
Oh my god, she's so on point right there. I'm like, okay, I want to get this corset. I do my measurements the first time. Then I do measurements while I'm bloated or on my period. Then I do measurements in the evening because in the morning, right when you wake up, it's not the same as at nighttime, right after you've eaten and everything. And then I will measure myself again right before buying the corset just to make sure it's still the same as when I first decided to purchase a corset. Those measurements were kind of like, you know, correlated. So yes, measure yourself multiple times because your body changes, your body fluctuates.
You know? And keep in mind, just like the human body comes in multiple shapes, so do corsets. And you may prefer one shape more than the other. You may want to have a variety of shaped corsets. So keep that in mind when you're looking at the style. So hopefully that was helpful. Leave any questions you might have below. I'll try to answer them. But also like do research, please, before wearing a corset. Research is essential. So research, research, research. Research. Bye.
There's someone called Lucy Corsetry. If you haven't heard of her, you're either living under a rock or you're not familiar with the corset culture. She's on YouTube, she's on Instagram, and she has a blog. I suggest starting there, lucycorsetry.com, and all things corset related. That's who I went to when I first started waist training back in 2013, and she is just the best. She's so helpful. You can even email her. And yeah, she's literally the best. I think she stopped wearing corsets because she had a baby, but she's still very helpful, and her blog is, I always refer to it. So definitely go to her. Do your research, like the pros and cons of a corset, which I think I have a video on that as well. Look at other people who waist train, like all of these people that I am showing you guys. Go to their TikToks, go to their Instagram, see if they have a YouTube channel, and just do a ton of research. Pros and cons, especially cons of wearing a corset. So next video.
Let's see how tight I can cinch this corset, and then I'll style the rest of the outfit. A corset that fits you is probably like 4 to 7 inches smaller than your natural waist, maybe more. The squishier your body is, the more dramatically you can cinch. Like if you've got a super athletic build, there's just not as much give, you know? Obviously it would be ideal to get a corset like custom made for your measurements, but like if you're wearing a corset casually, you're probably not gonna do that. So you wanna get one that kind of like mimics the shape of your body.
I have been wearing corsets for how long, and I have never purchased a custom corset. I have so many people in my comments are always like, get a custom corset already, geez, but like it's so expensive. It's like $300, $500, $600, and like I'm fine with an orchard corset. So if you want to go like all out, definitely get a custom corset. But then at the end of the day, it's like, what if someone made you the custom corset and then you get it and then you're like, you paid all that money and it like doesn't fit like 100%? Like I'd be so pissed. But start off with an off the rack corset, meaning just get a corset that a company has made.
You have like an athletic build and not a lot of squish, you're gonna get a lot of gapping here and here if you get one that's a little bit too curvy. But also if you get one that's not curvy enough, it's gonna like dig into your hips and your rib bones, and you're gonna cause yourself a lot of pain, and that's bad. Corset isn't sweatpants. Like, it's not gonna be comfortable. But it shouldn't hurt you. If you are experiencing pain, it is the wrong size or shape, and you need to take it off right now. Okay, I need to.
There's so many comments. People are like, can you breathe in that thing? Or doesn't it hurt? And it only hurts, like she said, it only hurts if you have the wrong size. I have had corsets before where I am like physically in pain, and it's because I had the wrong size, but I'll like stuff myself in it or whatever because beauty is pain. No, it isn't. But yeah, it shouldn't hurt. Like she said, sometimes they are comfy though. I want to say sometimes they are really comfortable. Like if you have like a nice snug corset on and some sweatpants on and like a long sleeve crop top and you're just, you know, going around town, or like, it's comfy. It can be comfy, okay?
Just because the back should be parallel, and I did not do a good job using my phone as the mirror. So go to part 2 for the full fit.
An impossible whopper, because it should be impossible to look this good. When is it my turn to be happy? Got an impossible whopper, because it should be impossible to look this good. When is it my turn to be happy?
100%. You will look so good from the front, but then when you turn to the side, it's like you have gap spillage. Not gonna be perfect because the corset is squishing your body, so you're gonna have some kind of, you know, stuff going on. Also, like she's wearing jeans, so she's definitely gonna have a gap. Oh, I hate that when you're wearing like loose fitted like sweatpants or a skirt or something, and like your waist is obviously smaller when you have your corset on, so it like droops. So annoying. All of these outfits are so cute. I just wanted to throw this in there because like you can style a corset. Like even in this outfit, she has her corset styled and you wouldn't even know that she's wearing a corset. You would probably just think like, oh, that's her body shape. Like she's slim, she has an hourglass figure, like pretty, cute, beautiful, gorgeous, you know? So there are ways to style a corset without showing the corset. Exhibit A. The best part about wearing a corset is taking it off and seeing the results. My favorite results are when I wear my corset to sleep and then I wake up the next morning and my stomach is flat and my waist is snatched. Literally gives me life. I love it. She has great, amazing, wonderful, beautiful, gorgeous results. And those corset kisses, the lines that are on her skin, even if you wear a corset liner like this pink one I have on, even if you wear something like this, like you will still get the little corset kisses if your corset is tight. So just keep that in mind. If that's not something that you want, then maybe corset training isn't right for you. But yeah, it will leave like little dents on your torso, but they fade away like that. So don't be too mad about it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video with me. Take care. Bye-bye.